There are boats that salespeople are always ready to recommend the moment you walk through the door. But there are also boats they only talk about when you actually ask. It's not because they don't sell, but because every time the sale is finalized, the real trouble begins. Warranty calls, repeated trips back to the service bay, and customers who are angry because their boat's value is dropping faster than they ever imagined. So which boats make sellers let out a silent sigh every time they sign a contract? Let's start with the first one on the list. Top 1 Monterey 295 Sport Yacht. In the premium boat segment, customer expectations are always high. When someone spends a significant amount on a luxury sports boat, they expect every detail to be perfect, from the exterior finish to the internal technical systems. But reality can sometimes be far from what the buyer imagined. In user communities, it's not hard to find discussions about issues appearing after only a short time of use. Gel coat cracks, metal components starting to corrode sooner than expected, and small but persistently annoying electrical faults. And each time the boat owner doesn't call the manufacturer first, they call the dealership that sold the boat. The seller becomes the one who has to absorb all the frustration. They have to arrange repairs, explain things to the customer, and bear the pressure of those high expectations. Can you imagine how a customer feels when their expensive boat has to return to the shop multiple times? And how do you think that affects the reputation of the dealership that sold it? Top 2 Rinker Q5 Bowrider. For many sports boat enthusiasts, this name used to be very familiar. However, over the years, changes in corporate structure and distribution networks have made technical support more complicated. As the dealer network has shrunk, the remaining shops have had to take on the responsibility of serving customers across a much wider area. This means they often have to repair boats they didn't even sell themselves. For a shop, this is the most difficult situation. They have to perform low-profit warranty work for customers who have no prior relationship with the dealership. If the repair goes smoothly, everything is fine. But if even a small mistake happens during the repair process, the shop is still the one held responsible by the customer. Gradually, these situations cause many sellers to start limiting the number of these models in their inventory. Would you want to sell a product that could lead to years of such trouble? Top 3 Stingray 215 LR Bowrider. At first glance, this is a boat with a fairly reasonable design and stable performance. But the biggest problem lies in the propulsion system it uses. While the market is gradually shifting toward outboard engine systems that are easier to maintain, this model still uses a stern drive system that is complex and maintenance intensive. This creates 2 major problems for the seller. The first is shop time. Jobs like replacing protective bellows, checking gimbal bearings, or maintaining the exhaust system can tie up a service bay for days. The second is the resale value story. When customers return after a few years wanting to trade up to a newer model, the seller has to explain that the boat's value has dropped significantly because market trends have changed. That is not an easy conversation, and sometimes just one conversation like that is enough to leave a customer feeling disappointed. Top 4 Glastron GTD 225 deck boat. For a seller, manufacturer stability is a crucial factor. Every time a customer encounters a problem, the shop needs quick support from the manufacturer to handle the warranty. But when a brand goes through multiple corporate restructurings, that support process sometimes becomes slow and complicated. Warranty claims have to wait longer for approval, and repair costs are sometimes not fully reimbursed, meaning the shop has to absorb the difference. And the story doesn't end there. When the boat comes back as a trade-in, the pool of buyers in the market isn't large. This causes the boat to sit on the display lot for months before finding a new buyer. Each passing month adds costs for the shop. Do you think a seller wants to repeat that situation many times? Top 5 Scarab 255 ID Jet Boat. The jet boat market once had a period of strong growth, but in recent years, sales in this segment have decreased significantly. Part of the reason stems from the specific engine structure of this boat line. Jet engines often require technicians with specialized training for maintenance and repair. Not every shop has that kind of technical team. This leads to two difficult choices. Either the shop must invest in new training and equipment, or they must send the boat to specialized centers, which prolongs repair times. Both cases lead to customer dissatisfaction. And when the owner wants to resell after a few years, they discover that the demand for this type of boat is declining. Resale value drops quickly, forcing sellers to think very carefully before taking that boat back. Top 6 Tahoe T18 Sport Boat. In the lower price segment, the problem lies in the business model. These boats are often sold with many large promotions to move inventory quickly. But when there are too many incentives, the shop's profit on the initial sale is almost negligible. This means they have to hope the customer will return for maintenance services or to buy additional accessories in the future. However, the customer group buying at this price point is usually very cost-sensitive. They spend less on services and often resell the boat themselves instead of trading it in at the shop. As a result, the initial transaction doesn't generate long-term revenue for the seller. You can understand why many shops aren't truly enthusiastic about having to sell too many of these models. Top 7 Bayliner VR5 Bowrider. This is one of the most popular models in the accessible price segment, but that very price point also means the build quality cannot reach the standards of higher-end lines. Some owners report minor issues appearing quite early, such as gel coat degradation, corroded metal parts, or misalignments during assembly. Each individual issue might not be too serious, but when they add up, they create many warranty requests in a short time. And the story continues after a few years of use. When the owner wants to upgrade to a new model, they find that the boat's value has dropped sharply from its original price. The seller then has to deal with a used boat that is hard to sell and a dissatisfied customer. And that is precisely why many in the industry understand very well the troubles this model can bring. Looking at the whole list, the common thread isn't that these boats are entirely bad. Some of them are even quite well designed. But the issue lies in the headaches that crop up after the transaction is finalized. Warranty costs, repair complexity, sharp declines in resale value, or shifting market trends. Any of these can turn a single sale into years of dealing with the consequences. If you found these insights helpful, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button so you don't miss our upcoming content.